guys. Yeah, still morning time. It is Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. This is the start of the new vlog. Hopefully you enjoyed our last week's vlog, which was a travel vlog, Mom's first cruise. I had to run and make a deposit at the bank, and then I decided to go ahead and swing by Walmart to pick up a few things because I needed to meal prep. I just picked up some more Owen sausage for my muffins, ground meat. Baby wants to make some patties. I took out me some I bought some grass-fed ground beef to make me some ground meat. I'm trying to get back on program. I picked up me some Mexican cheddar jack cheese for my tacos. Picked up some bell peppers, lettuce wrap. Also picked up some green bell peppers. I saw the young lady that I follow. She did some cottage cheese, so I don't like the texture. But what I'm going to do is blend it to a creamy consistency to add to my egg mixture to give me more protein, because this has half a cup is 13 grams of protein. So I'm trying to do more protein, low carb. So low carb basically. I just picked these up. I think I had some, but I just went ahead. You never can have too many cans of Rotel. Picked up an onion for Babe, and I picked up the zero net carbs Michelin tortillas. So I'm really trying to do low carb. That is what I'm going to be trying to do. Now, as far as the Owen sausage, it does have 0 carbs. So if I can do 0 carbs for my breakfast, my lunch, and dinner, I'll be doing very, very good. If you're doing low carb, you know, your red meats is probably the way to go. Steak, ground beef, you know, eggs, you know, salmon is good, but I don't like salmon, so there's that. But that's what I'm going to be working on, is just trying to do low carbs is my thing. I'm going to try to stay while I'm trying, because I still need to lose these 20 pounds. I did get on the scale. It said 177. So 20 pounds will put me, so I really don't need to lose 20 pounds, so maybe about 18 pounds. My goal is 160, 165. So if I lose 160, I still have, get to 160, I have that 5-pound wiggle room. That is my goal, okay? So, need to lose 18 to 20 pounds. So I'm going to just be doing low carb the best I can. I'm really going to try to cut out added sugars, and not go over 25 grams of carb per day. That's my goal for net carbs. What? Can I have breakfast? Yes, my net carbs. So that's my goal. So, let me get situated, and then we'll come back and I'll just show you how I'm going to make my muffins, put my ground meat on, and all the things, okay? All right, guys, let's get this assembly line going. The first thing we're going to start off with is our Daisy cottage cheese. This container has 13 grams of protein, and that is definitely one of my goals, is getting in more protein. If you don't know and you haven't really been following me, I had weight loss surgery, and the main thing they stress is getting your protein in, and I am definitely struggling with protein. So I followed this young lady who started adding cottage cheese to her muffins. Now, I don't like cottage cheese, not because of the taste, because it has no taste. It's the texture for me. She said, put it in a blender and blend it out smooth. And look at that, voila. So that's what I'm going to do, is put in the blender. I have a larger one, but I didn't want to pull that bad boy down. So we're just going to use this small one, which means I have to do it twice. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you need to get more protein in and you want to try this little trick, but you're like me, you don't like the taste or the texture of the cottage cheese, then blend it to a smooth consistency, and then we can add it to our mixture and all of that. And to me, it worked out perfectly. I did not taste the lumps, bumps, and all of that. So yes, blend it out so we can get that extra protein in, because that is definitely my goal moving forward. I'm also going to be adding the rest of this egg whites in it. I know some people don't like egg whites, but you can do eggs and do egg whites. I'm doing egg whites for, again, more protein. So I only get the small carton because, you know, it kind of goes to waste. So I'm going to use that, blend this all together. And then I'm going to go in and start adding my eggs. Now for me, I think I ended up doing like a dozen eggs. I'm not really for sure. But anyway, this recipe will be linked down below. And that way you can follow along, because I think I only had 7 in here and I went and got 5 more. So I do believe I ended up putting a total of 12 eggs just because it was a lot of cottage cheese. So I ended up, yes, now that I recall, 12 eggs. I had to go get some more eggs. I added 12 eggs to this mixture. And I think it was only half a carton of the egg whites. So then I'm going to go ahead and cook my Owen sausage. You can do Owen sausage. You can do turkey sausage. You can do bacon. You can do ham. Whatever type of meat you like. And if you don't want to do any meat, you don't have to do that either. I'm going to chop up 3 bell peppers, and I decided to keep it colorful. So we're going to do green, red, and orange. And get these all chopped up nice and finely. And then after we get this all chopped up, we're going to add this to our mixture. We're going to go over here and finish checking on the sausage. And I did the whole roll of sausage because, like I said, this is going to be for me and Babe. And I want to make as many muffins as I can because I'm going to sort out so many per sandwich bag in the refrigerator and the freezer. And then I'm going to freeze the rest. Please, please, please do not forget to season your mixture with salt and pepper, because if you don't season it, you're going to regret it. So I'm going to season mine with some salt and pepper, mix it all up together. It's just important. Now, if you don't want to do any salt and pepper, don't. But whatever seasons you choose to use, I do suggest you season your mixture, okay? Because once the muffins are done, you're not going to want to be trying to do that. And I just don't think it's not going to do the same, okay? It's not going to taste right. So go ahead and season your mixture. The next thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to add some veggies. And I'm going to do some baby spinach. If you know me and you watched me before, you know I'm going to cook my spinach. And I'm going to add it. All I'm going to do is add it to my Owen's sausage. That's all I'm going to do is cook it in there. I don't want any uncooked spaghetti. It's nothing. Spinach. There's nothing wrong with it, but I prefer not to do that. So now we're going to go ahead and assemble everything into our silicone. I highly suggest these because you don't have to add any unnecessary oil or anything like that. I like to put my silicone on top of a baking sheet. It makes it easier to put them in and out of the oven. And as you can see, now I'm just topping everything off with my sausage and spinach mixture on top of the egg mixture. And then we're going to go in and add the cheese on top. And I actually did 3. I did 3 silicones because I ended up making a total of... Did I do 3? I think I did 4. I did 4 because I ended up having a total of 48 muffins. And so as you can see, I'm just adding my cheese blend. If you don't want cheese, you can totally skip this. This is whatever you like. You want to add mushrooms, you want to add onions, whatever you think you would like. I say go for it. Just clean it up a little bit. This is so easy. Once you're done, you're done. I'm telling you. And you can get up every morning. So I'm going to go ahead. My oven has already been on 350 preheating. I'm going to put them in the oven and let them cook for at least 30 minutes. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and prepare my taco meat. It's simple. The description box will have how I made that. That's really, really simple. Nothing hard if you've ever made taco meat. Okay. Muffins are done, ready to be separated. Ground meat for my tacos or whatever I choose to make already. I decided to go ahead and make the patties for my husband so he wouldn't have to worry about it. Lost the footage, but the recipe of how I do my ground beef patties will be linked in the description box below. Okay, so don't fret, but it will be linked down below. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Good Friday. So currently I am getting myself prepped for Sunday dinner, Easter dinner. I don't know if y'all can see me that good. Let me move y'all. That's probably better. I don't know. It's like a little something going on. I don't know. Got to clean that off a little bit. Let's see. Is that better? Maybe. Anyway, I am prepping. Of course, Sunday is Easter. I know by the time you watch it, it's already passed, but I am prepping. Like I said, it's Good Friday. I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff prepped and ready for Easter, because you know I really only do dressing twice a year, and that's Easter and Thanksgiving. So I've already chopped up my onion and bell pepper. I use yellow onion. I've already put some of my bell pepper in the pot. So what I like to do is go ahead, cut up my onion, bell pepper, put it in a pot with some chicken broth and a stick of butter, salt and pepper, because I don't like to put raw vegetables in my dressing. So I'll let them boil, simmer to al dente. You don't want to mushy. You just want them al dente. I say al dente. Al dente. I've got my eggs boiling, of course, for my giblet gravy. I've got my chicken thighs on. They're cooking. I like to boil like half a pack to get some of the good old broth from the chicken to add into my dressing. And I just season this as well, my chicken, with chicken broth, salt, pepper, not a lot of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a stick of butter as well. So I can have that good old broth to mix in with my cornbread. One sec. For my dressing, I use Martha White yellow cornbread mix. Now remember, they do have the sweetened, so make sure you get the regular, the original yellow cornbread mix. Now I know some of y'all out there are chefs and all the things, and you make your cornbread from scratch. Good for you. Your girl ain't doing that. I'm just going to use this. I don't add any sugar. I just make it with my milk and my eggs. That's it. Since it's not a big function, I do 1 roast pan of dressing. So I normally do 5 packs. So that's 5 packs, 5 eggs, and then milk, mix it up and stuff like that to make my cornbread. Okay, so yeah, so I'll show you that once I get to that part. But that's how I mix my cornbread. I don't add any sugar when I'm doing my dressing. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna get my vegetables on so they can start boiling. And then I'm going to whip up my cornbread real quick, put it in the oven. I have already seasoned my other pack of thighs and covered them with foil, put them in the refrigerator so they can be marinating. Okay, so I've already, let's see. So I did, for my family, it's not that many of us, I'm doing 2 family packs of chicken thighs. So here's the other thighs in here that I've already seasoned up. Let them marinate. You know, marinate. And then once my chicken is done and I add my broth or whatever, I will take some of the chicken out and shred it to leave for my giblet gravy. The rest I will just put in another baking dish, let it cool, and then put it, of course, in the refrigerator. But yeah, that's what we got going on this morning. I'm also making Mom some bacon for her bacon sandwich so I can make her some coffee. Yeah, that's about what I got going on this morning. Also, this is the broth I use is Swanson chicken broth. That's the one that I use. I like to season everything because, like I've said before, if you've been following me, I'm a little heavy-handed on seasoning. So when I get ready to put my dressing together, I don't have to add salt, pepper, all that, because my vegetables are seasoned, my chicken is seasoned. You know, I don't have to do all that. And then, of course, your broth is seasoned. So only thing I have to add to my cornbread, you know, my mixture is sage. And my favorite sage is... let's see. I like to use the Adams. Some people use McCormick's. I have used McCormick, but I preference Adams sage. At least that's what I grew up with. That's what my mom uses, so that's what I like. If you don't have sage, you can use poultry seasoning. Maybe add to some Italian seasoning or something like that to give it some more flavor. So, you know, if you don't have sage, you don't like sage, you can definitely use some poultry seasoning. Okay. But now I've got everything in here. I'm going to put this on. Just let that pretty much simmer is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Let that simmer. And I usually, for a roast pan, I use a really nice size onion, one nice size onion, and bell pepper. I'll probably use 2 bell peppers, you know. But if I do 2 roast pans, which is what I normally do on Thanksgiving, I'll have maybe 2.5 size onions and maybe 4 bell peppers. And I know people like to put celery. You can definitely do celery. I don't know what it is. I just use cream of celery, and I already know we supposedly done cancel camels, but my God, if y'all got a better, short of me using anything else, I mean, or give me some ideas for some other soups that I can use, let me know in the comments. But for right now, that's what I'm using. That's what we've been using. I ain't dead yet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's that. Okay. So, that on there. Alright, people, we've got the big boy down. This is my KitchenAid mixer. Now, if you just have a hand mixer, that's okay. What I will say, if you're using a hand mixer and you are using a bowl, I would not try to do all 5 packs at the same time. Reason being, because once you add the milk, the eggs, it's gonna fill up your bowl, and then you're gonna have a mess. So if you don't have a mixer or a deep enough bowl, then I would say do 2 packs or 3 packs. Do your mixing, put it over into your roast pan, and then mix the other 2 or 3 packs and then put it in there. Now, before I start this, I've already put me some oil, whatever oil you use. Of course, I'm using Crisco vegetable oil, okay? And you don't need a lot. You just need enough to coat your pan. So I don't know, less than a 1/4 cup. I don't know. Whatever. You just got to wing it. But it's not a lot. You just don't want your cornbread to stick. So make sure you put a little oil in there. Pop it in the oven so it can be getting hot. And then I've already cracked all my eggs because we don't need no eggshells in our dressing. So I know sometimes I'll wing it when I'm cooking other things, but when it comes to my dressing, I don't play. So I go ahead and crack all 5 of my eggs because I'm doing 5 packs of cornbread. So 5 eggs. I've already put them in here. Now I'm just going to dump my eggs off in here. Okay. And milk. This is not a lot of milk. This may, you know what? Hold that thought. You know, it's one thing when you're making 1 pack. Let's see how much milk this is. Okay. This is exactly 1 cup of milk that I'm going to mix in here. Okay, because if I say I'm going to put the recipe at the bottom, I don't want you to have to guess at anything. All right, let the mixer down. I'm going to lock it, and then I'm just going to put it on stir. Okay, and then we'll see the consistency if we need to add any more milk. But for the sake of 5 packs, 5 eggs, it was 1 cup of milk. Okay. And then I'm going to let that do its thing. As it's mixing, then I'll probably turn it up a little bit more, okay? I've already turned my eggs off. They're through boiling. My chicken is cooking good. My vegetables are almost starting to come to a boil. So we're going to keep an eye on that because, like I said, we only want that al dente. We don't want them to be mushy. Because remember, once we mix everything together, it's going to cook some more. So we don't want mushy vegetables, okay? Alright. Let me get me a spoon. So I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to lift this and give it a good stir at the bottom. And it's looking like that may be a good consistency. Yep. So I'm going to let it get some of this out of my thing here so all that can get mixed up, okay? All right, let it back down and let it stir some more on a higher speed, okay? You just want your oil to get hot. Once I get that in the oven, I'm going to probably go ahead and do my mixture for my chess pies. I have not made chess pies in a while, so I'm going to make a couple of chess pies for dessert. Don't really want to make any peach cobbler, so I'm going to do chess pies, okay? So we'll come back once this is done and I'm ready to put it in my pan and put it in the oven. And you just cook it as normal. Make sure you preheated your oven 350 degrees, so it's ready for your oil. Once you put your oil in there, just let it get hot, and we're going to transfer our mixture, our cornbread mixture, into our roast pan and put it in the oven, let it cook as normal, and then we'll go from there. All right, yes, we are back. For the cornbread, I don't know if I mentioned it. If I didn't, I ended up, because it wasn't quite wet enough, it was still a little too dry, I added another 1/4 of a cup of milk. So for 5 packs cornbread mix, 5 eggs, I used 1 full cup and then 1/4 of a cup of milk. Okay, and now it gave me just the right consistency for me. Okay, while I was letting my grease get hot and doing other things, this may not be something I should have to say, but I clean as I go. Okay, so this is for my babies that's kind of new in the kitchen and are learning how to do certain things. Make you some good old hot dishwater, or at least have you some water ready to rinse your dishes if you put them in the dishwasher, or whatever it is you do. I was raised to cook and clean at the same time. Okay, that's what I was taught to do. Because let me tell you, when you cooking, when you get through, the last thing you want to have to do is now you got to clean the kitchen or wash dishes and all that. So make it easy on yourself. Make you some good old hot water and wash your dishes or rinse them good from the dishwater, whatever it is, so you don't have to do all that, because yeah. All right, so I took my grease out the oven. It's nice and hot. I'm gonna go ahead and dump my cornbread mixture in my grease. Okay. And I know you're probably saying, "Ooh, that's not enough." But like I said, it's only gonna be me, my husband, my brother, my sister, 4 adults. That's it. 4 adults. But once you get to mixing everything in here, you'll realize it's enough. It's enough. But like I said, if you're doing a whole family, I always do more cornbread. So I usually will do maybe 6 or 7, maybe even 8 per roast pan to give me more cornbread. So you just kind of got to gauge how much dressing you want to make. Okay. Wash all this stuff up. And again, for my babies, I'm not talking about you know, you seasoned cooks and stuff. I'm talking about babies who probably don't really know. When you get ready to wash your containers, don't just stick this in your dishwater. Rinse it out, because if not, you're gonna have cornbread mixture in your dishwater. Don't do that. Rinse all that cornbread out and then put it in your dishwater and wash it. Okay. Like I said, that's more for my babies that's kind of new to this, not y'all that's true to it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. Cover this back up and put it over on my other counter, and I'm gonna let Babe put it up. I was able to get it down, but I'm not gonna try to put it back up there because, yeah, it's heavy. Dishes are washed up, cornbread in the oven. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started on my filling for my chess pie. Okay, I'll go ahead and get started on that. All right, beautiful people, the cornbread is done. I've taken it out of the oven. So everything as far as my mixture for my dressing is done. Okay, my eggs for my give it gravy, they're cooked. My onions and bell pepper or el dente, I've turned that off. Oh, and how you know when they're al dente for me is once I put my cornbread in the oven, especially if you're following me, once I put my cornbread in the oven to cook, I go ahead and turn my my vegetables off. I don't take them off the stove, I just turn it off. My chicken is done for my broth. I've taken that off the stove. My cornbread, you just want it to be, you know, get back, baby.
A green one.
So it's done. I've taken it out of the oven. Okay. So what we're going to now do is start working on the pie. This is for, this recipe is going to be for 2 chest pies. So you can just do 1 pie. It's up to you. Okay. I set my pie shells out for room temperature. Okay. Now, if you'd like, you can go ahead and put them in there and let them kind of cook a little bit. I don't. I just let them sit out room temperature. Okay. Now, so I'm going to, all the ingredients will be down below. The recipe, everything is really simple. You do need 6 eggs, 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks of butter, 3 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and a 9-inch deep dish pie shell. Okay? All right. Get out of Cameron stuff. All right. So in a mixing bowl, we're going to beat the eggs. So since that goes in first, you don't have to do no separate bowl. That way, you know if you broke any shells off in there. So we're going to go ahead and crack 6 eggs off in here. That way you don't have no shells in your pie. Because I am not the best egg cracker, okay? Huh?
Yeah,
I don't know. Alright, 1 more. Alright. Alright. You're going to beat your eggs on low. It might make it easier if you just tilt your bowl to beat your eggs. Alright, so once I've got my eggs beat, I have my 2 sticks of butter on low because we want to melt the butter. Again, it is 1 cup of butter is 2 sticks, okay? So while I was beating my eggs, I had my sticks of butter on there to melt, okay? Now we're going to add the sugar. Like I said, it's 3 cups of sugar. This is not a recipe for if you're diabetic, okay? It's just not. Some people cut back. I've given this recipe to people before that say they cut back on the sugar. Totally up to you, okay? And you're going to add your sugar to your butter mixture. Okay. I'm going to add the vinegar. The vinegar calls for 2 tablespoons of vinegar. White vinegar, okay? I don't know where my tablespoon thing is, so that's going to be 4 half tablespoons. Okay. And then you're just going to take your whisk and you're just going to whisk. You know, whisk everything together. And this again is over, I guess you call it low to medium heat, because you don't want your sugar mixture to burn. So you're basically whisking until it becomes, I had it in my head. You want the sugar to dissolve. It doesn't take it long to dissolve, so make sure you don't leave your sugar mixture and walk away. You want to stay and watch it, okay? It's usually about 5 minutes, and it should be, you know, dissolved and ready to go. So make sure your sugar is dissolved. That's fine. I'm just going to do the voiceover because of all the howling earlier.
What are you cooking?
Chest pie.
What's that?
Dressing Easter Sunday.
Oh.
I'm making dressing. Okay. All right, so the mixture is now dissolved. You're just going to pour this over your eggs. All right. And we're going to mix well. Alright. Now once you've done that, we're going to add in vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now again, I don't know where my teaspoon is, so I've got a ½ a teaspoon, so I'm going to have to use 4 of my ½ teaspoons. Alright. All right, and then again, another good stir. I'm gonna get our pie shell ready. Now I'm going to do both my pies so I can put them in the oven at the same time. You probably could make 3 pies, to be honest. Also, I now remember, I told you I hadn't made this in a long time. Make sure you get deep dish pie crust because that should work perfectly. You don't get deep dish, that is why you will have some mixture left over. So what I'm going to do, because they are so full and I didn't get deep dish pie shells, I'm going to put each pie on a baking pan so that way any bubble overs or whatever will get on this and not on the oven and have smoke and all that. Yeah, good trick. We don't have sugar and stuff burning the bottom of the oven, okay? Whew. Okay. Whew, whew. And it'll probably make it easier too to even get your, what's the name? So if you do this, I suggest put your pie shell on your baking sheet and then pour your mixture in there. That way you don't waste any. All right. I got them both in the oven on 350. It is 1:30, so at 2:30 I'll probably check them at 2:15 after about 45 minutes, okay? That way we don't waste nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and wash those few little dishes up, and then we'll go ahead and assemble the cornbread dressing. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and assemble our dressing. So we have our cornbread. What I like to do is just kind of take my butter knife and just kind of put my cornbread up. I've already washed my hands. Now, if you like to use gloves, you can. As you can see, I don't wear nails. I don't have any polish on, and I have washed my hands. And I'm cooking for my family, so you do what works for you. If you'd rather wear gloves, Now, when I'm doing this part, I don't. Okay, so you want to just use a butter knife to break up that cornbread so you can crumble it really, really good, because you don't want no humps of cornbread, okay? So make sure you get that done, broke up real good. And like I said, I gave it time to cool, because if you try to do it straight out the oven, this cornbread is going to be hot, okay? It's not cold. It's like, it's warm.
No.
But I can handle it.
You can work it.
I don't know, y'all. All right. So like I said, get your cornbread crumbled up really good. You don't want no humps in your cornbread. Cornbread, it should look something like this. And of course, we're going to go in with our dry ingredient, which is my sage. You shouldn't need anything else because you should have seasoned your chicken. You should have seasoned your vegetables, okay? So you shouldn't have to use any other seasoning at this point, okay? Just your sage. Now, for the sake of me giving you a recipe, because normally I'm just seasoning and, what I think is enough. So I'm gonna get out my little measuring thing here, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill up about a third of a cup. You can always add, but you can't take away. So we want to start off with the smallest amount. So this is a third of a cup of my Adam's sage, all right? And you just want to sprinkle it throughout. Take your spoon and you want to stir it good, okay? Make sure you mix it very good. All right, so I think for me, I'm gonna add another third. I just, in my heart of hearts, feel like it's not enough. So for right, we're at 2/3 of a cup. Okay. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. I think that's going to be the perfect amount. Because you're looking at it, you want to make sure it's blended, but you won't know until you taste. So that's why I said, if you're scared, just do the third, and then you'll taste it later, and then you can add some more. But for me, I've been making dressing for a while now. I just eyeball it. But for the sake of the recipe, I want to give you an exact amount of what I use for 5 bags of cornbread. So make sure everything is blended, 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 blended. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a stick of butter. Okay. A stick of butter. All right. In there. Then I want to get my vegetable out. I'm going to leave a little bit, not too much. The majority is going to go in here. Okay. And then I'm going to take my spoon because I need more. But I took most of the juice, but I'm going to dip some more of the vegetables out. I'm going to save some for my gravy. Because it's not really, mine is just gravy. I ain't going to call it giblet because I don't put giblets in mine. But if you like giblet in your gravy to go on your dressing, then add you some giblets. I don't like those little things, so I don't add. Okay. Once you get that in there, ooh, it starts to smell good already. You want to give it a good mix. Get it up in there good.
Wow.
Now you could have definitely chopped up your butter, but like I said, once you add that hot vegetable mix in there, it's going to start melting your butter. But you want to give this a good stir. I like to stir as I layer because it makes it just easier to mix everything together, okay? And it's already smelling like dressing. Already.
Can you get it, Anna?
You can't get it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to do 2 cans of cream of chicken soup from Campbell's. Again, if you got a substitute for Campbell's, by all means, let me know in the comments. But hey, like I said, we've been using this, I don't know, probably my family was using this before I was probably even thought about. So we ain't nothing happened to none of us yet. So if you can think of something else that's easy, by all means, let me know. You want to get all that up out of there, all that flavor. Like I said, it's 2 cans, and this is the family size can. I'm going to add both of them in there. What are you doing? And then I'm going to do my cream of celery. Like I said, even if you do celery in your vegetable mixture, I would still add some cream of celery. So I'm going to do 4 of the small cans of cream of celery. I feel like 2 small cans, because they don't never have the large cans at my Walmart. So if they had the large ones, I would only add 2 large family size cans. Get out of his bag. Put it back. Put it back. No, put it back. Trey, put it back. Go in there and watch TV. Lord. So if they didn't have the large, just get you 4. 2, I say 2 cans comes the same as 1 family size. Okay. Let me get that all off in there. All right. All right. Now I'm going to give this a good stir before I add any more liquid. I'm going to get all this mixed in there with the cornbread. Make sure everything is blended good, okay? And then we're going to get the broth, some broth from our chicken, all right? And pour into our crock pot. Remember, this is adding, oh my grandkids, y'all, adding some flavor, all right? Now, you're not going to pour all the broth off your chicken. I didn't even measure that, and I'm sorry, but, you know, start with a little bit of it at a time. Don't do like I just did. I'm completely forgetting that I'm supposed to be giving you a recipe. Yeah, I think that was just the right amount. That's why I said I should have been measuring so I could have told you exactly how much. But just add a little bit, maybe 2 cups at a time until you get it wet, loose, and it's no longer gummy, okay? Now at this point is when you want to taste it. Get you a spoon. This is the point where usually I have my husband taste it, because it seems like once you start doing all this cooking and seasoning, everything's up in your nose and it's just hard. But nobody's here, so I gotta taste it. So you just get you a little bit. I feel like it's perfect, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more sage. Not too much, just a little bit. feel like it could use just a little bit more. You shouldn't need no salt, pepper, none of that. Only thing you might have to add is just a little more sage. And mix it up. Okay. And you don't double dip. Either wash that spoon or get you another one, okay? My mama used to be adamant about that. Don't you dare stick that spoon back off in my dressing. After you and I already tasted it. So, I'm just going to get another spoon. After I gave it another good stir, which should be perfect. I shouldn't have to add any more. Like I said, it's kind of hard. But I'm going to just get me a little bit. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So I just want to even it out, flatten it out. And I'm going to show you what I mean when I say loose. Again, the dressing turned out perfect, but again, I will say I added just a little too much liquid. You want it to shake a little bit, but not too much. Clean all that. The dressing. So when I say loose, hopefully you can see. You see how it's shaking? So it's loose. It's not stiff. It's loose. Okay? So that's what I mean by you want it to be loose. Still kind of wet, not stiff and dry. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do is cover this up with some foil, double it up, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to let it marinate for a day. Okay, like I said, it's 1:56 and about almost 2 o'clock. So it's pretty much going to marinate for a day and a half. I usually get up pretty early on a holiday morning and bake off my dressing, my chicken, all the things. Okay, but I like the fact. Now, some people do their dressing early. I don't do mine that early. Like I said, it's Friday. It's going to marinate the rest of the day. And all of Saturday, I'll probably be up Sunday, probably about 7 o'clock, and put my chicken in the oven. And then by the time my chicken is finished baking off, then I go ahead and put my dressing in the oven. That's it. As far as that, Babe does the macaroni and cheese, the green beans, all that kind of stuff. I do all that Sunday morning. I usually will, if I don't boil a ham hock, I'll do some bacon for some drippings and add my bacon in with my green beans and all that. But I don't know. Babe was thinking about making some greens. I don't know. You know, I don't eat none of that. So, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and double wrap this and put it in the refrigerator so it can marinate. You hear my grandbabies. See what I'm talking about? That's that 3-year-old. He rotten. He want to have his way and all of that. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, we've done with the dressing. We're going to move on to the gravy, okay? So I've already taken out my chicken that I was using that I boiled to make my broth for my dressing. And I had 8 pieces. I put 6 in here. I'm going to cover it with foil to bake off some more on Sunday morning. And I took 2 pieces out, deboned them, got the gristle and the fat and the skin off because I'm going to add this to my gravy. It's probably your daddy. Say, look, go to the door and ask him.
No, I heard a bark. I know that's my dad.
Go to the door and ask who it is. Before you open the door, make sure it's your daddy.
Hello?
Say, who is it?
Who is it?
Okay, open the door if it's your daddy.
My daddy.
Okay, did you close the door?
He's coming in.
Oh.
Whoa.
It's right, come here.
And I don't remember it down.
door back, Cameron? Oh my God. Go lock the door. Nobody walking out on us. Trey, get up to the table so you can eat. Okay, so like I said, I've covered that up. I'm going to put that in the refrigerator once it cools off. You don't want to put the hot chicken in the, you don't put the hot chicken in the refrigerator. So I've covered it up and let it cool off. And then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. You need to get up to the table and eat. Get y'all food out, Cameron, so y'all can eat. Go get up to the table so you can eat. All right. So the same pot that I did my chicken in is what I'm going to use to do my gravy. So as you can see, I still left a little bit of my broth in here.
Okay.
All right. So what I'm going to do is add my soups. So I'm going to be using 3 cans of the cream of chicken, family size. And add 3 cans of celery.
Hello?
And then the remainder of my vegetables, I'm going to add it to the pot. Juice and all. Okay. Make sure you get all that goodness out of there.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. And then you're going to take your shredded chicken. You're just going to put everything in the pot. Okay. Like I said, I have it on, I like 3. Just let it start simmering. And then, of course, you need your eggs. How many eggs is up to you. I think I did 6 eggs. So we're going to just peel our eggs and add them to it. Yes. I'm just going to use a butter knife, and all I'm going to do is just cut the eggs up. Now, if you don't know, all I do is, with a butter knife, is just make slits one way, and then I come back the other way. Okay, and then when I get ready to put it, I just do another cut. Okay, and that'll just cut them up pretty good. Okay, that's it. That's all. So 2 slits one way, 2 slits the other way. And then when I get over the thing, I just cut some more. All right. All right, and then we just want to mix everything up.
I'm
Alright, I'm just going to let that cook. And while that's doing that, of course, we're cleaning. We're cleaning. You don't want it to be too thick. You don't want it to be too loose. So usually the broth left over from your chicken and the broth left over from your vegetables is usually enough, because your soup is going to, of course, lose some of that thickness of the consistency. So it should be okay. But if you still need it to not be so thick, you can always add a little bit of chicken broth. Okay. Right now, you're up in the get the kitchen clean. So probably by the time that's finished, I can go sit down. It's almost time for me to check my pies as well. Alright, good morning, beautiful people. It is Saturday, April 4th. Got a few things we gotta get done today. Unfortunately, it is raining. Not real hard just at the moment, but it's raining and it's a little cold. 57 degrees, y'all. In April. Yeah. So we are headed. We need to fill up our water jugs. I need to go to Staples because for whatever reason I cannot get my printer that I bought. I can't get it to work. It's, you know, and it's an inkless printer. So I don't know. You know, it's one of them gadgets I got off TikTok shop and it was working fine, and I do have the right paper because it was working, but it's not working now. So we're going to just go to Staples, get the copies made that I need, because we got to get our taxes done this afternoon, which I will never understand. They take taxes when you get paid. You pay taxes when you shop. I will never understand. Whatever you buy, you paying taxes, and then at the end of the year, you may or may not owe, and if you owe, you know, you're paying taxes again on the same money that they've already taxed through the year. I just will never understand. But it is the law of the land, and so be it. So that appointment is not till 1. It's 9 something. So we are, yeah, it's like 9:30ish. So we're gonna go fill the water jugs, get the copies made, come back to the house, and make sure I have everything. I normally try, as the stuff starts coming in, I normally keep everything together, so I really don't have to get anything together. I just gotta get these copies that, you know, I had to download from the site. So yeah, but nothing really else today. I don't think we have anything else to do. As you saw, I already started prepping. I pretty much finished. I made my chest pies. They're done. My dressing is just marinating in the refrigerator. I did my gravy. It's done. Chicken, only thing I have to do in the morning for Easter when I get up is bake my chicken off, and then I'll put my dressing in, and then of course babe is going to do the macaroni and cheese, and then we'll do the green beans. So we're either going to do a ham hock or some bacon to do the green beans, and that's it for us. A little simple Easter dinner. Like I said, we don't have a big family thing. It's just usually me, my husband, my daughter. My grandkids don't really eat that much. I don't even know if the little fat man, I can't remember if he eat dressing or not, so we'll see. And my brother comes over. I don't know if my son is going to come down from Austin or not, or if he's even going to be in town because he travels for work. So I don't know, but that's pretty much it. We keep it simple. Our neighbor, they are out of town, so they won't be here. So that's pretty much it. So I just do one roast pan of dressing. That's about all. And I'll probably do a little work in the glam room today. I've got to get some videos done. A couple, I know for sure, at least 3 I need to get done. Another wig review I need to post. Well, I need to get done and schedule for posting. And then I need to do an update, a retirement update, because I do have an update. It's a small update, but nonetheless, I did want to keep everybody updated on this retirement process from the federal government. So that's probably what I'm going to do today, is get all those at least recorded, and then I can just work on editing them on Monday. Because this video, if you're watching it now, that means it is probably Monday or Wednesday. Probably Monday or Wednesday if you're watching this. I'm not for sure when I want to post it, because yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to end this vlog on Easter, just because it is Easter. So more than likely, if you're watching this, it'll probably be Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. All right, let me just show you how it's looking outside. Like I said, it's not too bad, but it's still not pretty. This is the type of weather you want to be in the house. You don't want to be outside. To get our taxes done, I will leave the information down below. So if you do live in the, I guess, Dallas or surrounding area, and you're looking for a good tax guy, I would highly recommend Ron. He's been doing our taxes for over 20 years, I'm sure. So, and I've never had any issues with the IRS or any issues with my taxes. So if you're looking for a good tax person, I will definitely leave his business information down below. That's heavy.
Thank you.
Hey, Ron. All right, y'all. That's done. So, and I'm always happy. I don't have to write a check, so we don't owe. So I'm always happy about that. That's a wonderful thing. So that means we did something right last year. So, so that one thing is taken care of. Waiting on Babe. He had to make a stop. Use the little boys' room. So we're gonna probably go, and there's a Grandy's. I don't know if you have a Grandy's where you are, but I absolutely love a Grandy's. So every time we come and get every year when we get our taxes done, we always stop and get Grandy's. Because who's not cooking is me. Easter's tomorrow. I have did what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna stop and we're gonna get Grandy's for me, him, and my mom. Yeah. And that's it. That's all. I think the only thing I got to do today is put the ham hock on for the green beans. And he probably won't do the macaroni and cheese till in the morning. Yeah. Or tomorrow afternoon, rather. Because we don't eat till about 2 o'clock. Between 1 and 2, usually. So, yeah. That's it. Something to go. Yeah, whoever owned it ain't putting no money into it.
Hey, how you doing? All right.
Hi.
Right here to go.
Girl.
To go. Right here. Okay, what can I do for you?
Hey, you don't remember me, do you?
Chicken fried chicken. This is your chicken fried chicken, mashed potatoes. I don't remember the gravy.
White gravy?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I used to be at work, this is my wife.
Mashed potatoes
Nice
and
to
what
meet
else?
you.
Mashed potatoes and what else?
What I know, mashed potatoes and corn.
Corn.
Mashed potatoes and corn. So I got a single
No.
chicken.
No, that's a double chicken fried chicken.
Grande chile, as you say.
Yeah, grande chili. Yeah, grande chili. I'm sorry, baby. I'm supposed to let you on.
That's all right, but I ain't like that. It ain't that serious.
Double chicken, white gravy, mashed potatoes and corn. Anything for you, ma'am?
I'm gonna get the single.
Single chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Why you brown gravy?
Chicken fried chicken.
Chicken fried steak.
Country fried steak.
White gravy with mashed potatoes and okra.
Okay. Any drinks for you?
Probably just gonna give me a Sprite, some small Sprite or something.
Small Sprite. We got a story. It's okay for you?
What you say, baby?
A story?
Yes.
Okay. And for you?
Tea, sweet tea.
A small, medium, round.
Medium.
Medium sweet tea. Okay. Anything else on the story?
I'll probably come back and get one to go, order to go for my mom.
Chicken.
She probably do chicken fried steak, yeah. Chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes with the okra.
If you want to order it, you can order it.
Okay.
Just fix it
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, okra, and white gravy for my mom. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? And you say only one jalapeno?
One grande.
Pongan chile.
So le iba a hacer uno to go mashed in.
Esas no las buenas.
Y'all want honey and butter?
Butter for sure.
Butter? So y'all enjoy.
Can I get a little more butter?
More butter? Yeah.
There you go.
Y'all have any salt and pepper?
Salt and pepper, yes, right here.
I think we have the one.
I don't need all that. That happened.
Oh, they already, yeah, this month. They already charged us for Brahma stuff. I know them folks from somewhere, they're trying to place it.
Shit about that. What you talking about? Shit. Really?
I know your ass. I know your ass recording me.
Everything is content.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. Bye bye. Y'all have a good one. So you feel like you need a scooter. It's what now? It's what? Hello. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Happy Easter, happy Resurrection Day, happy Sunday, whichever you prefer. We're up, babe. Made breakfast this morning, so it is now 12:28. I have put both of my pans of chicken in the oven. One that needs to fully cook. The other one that just really needs to bake a little bit and then kind of bake off, because eventually I'll take the fall off both and let them brown. And then I'll put my dressing in the oven so it can, you know, cook. It's been marinating for what? I'd say I put it all together, I think Friday. So about a day and a half so, because I did it like Friday evening. So the flavors ought to be well marinated. Giblet gravy ought to be good. Well, just gravy, because I don't put giblet in my gravy, as you saw. And like I said, the recipe of how I do my dressing and my giblet and chicken, everything will be down in the description box below, just in case you're a newbie and you're trying to learn how to cook. Now listen, don't do this on no holiday. If you've never cooked any type of a holiday dinner, don't start with a holiday. Just do a random weekend for you and some friends or just your family, and do a test run before you commit to doing something on a holiday. Let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that. Babe is getting ready to do the macaroni and cheese, and then we're going to put the bacon on, no ham hock. We're going to just use bacon. Let it boil to add a little flavor to the water. And then we're going to do the green beans. Simple, simple. You already know I did my chess pies. That recipe would be also in the description box below. Again, chess pie sweet. So if you diabetic, this may not be the pie for you. Also, the sugar, the amount of sugar is optional. The recipe calls for 3 cups. If that is a lot of sugar, and it is it's sweet. Maybe start with maybe a cup and a half and see if that's sweet enough. Not sweet enough, you can adjust until you get the recipe how you like it. 3 cups does not bother my family. That's how I make it, but you can, you know what I'm saying, cut back on the sugar if you think it might be too much. I say don't cut it all the way down to 1. I would say maybe do a cup and a half or 1 pie. Take it out, let it set, taste it. If it's good, then you'll do your recipe with a cup and a half of sugar. If you think you want to do 2 cups, then make the next one with 2 cups. Tweak the recipe to your liking, okay? But like I said, the recipes and how I do everything will be in the description box below. And if you decide to use any of my recipes or how I do things, definitely tag me and let me know. And knowing how it turned out, how people liked it, all the things, all right? So once everything is out and we are ready to eat, I will show you a final video of everything that is done and a plate or whatever. All right. I normally do when I put my chicken in the oven, I'll add a little bit of chicken broth to my chicken and then cover it back up and put it in there. Just so you want to just keep your chicken nice and juicy. You don't want it to dry out, even though I'm not a chicken eater, but still you take your time to do all the things. So you want to make sure that everybody's happy. So I just make sure I add that, let it cook a little while, and then eventually, depending on how long, you want to make sure your chicken is done. You take your foil off and let it cook a little longer because you just want it to brown and stuff on the top, and keep an eye on it. You don't want it to, get dry. Let me show you. Babe has finished the macaroni and cheese. He decided not to put it in the oven, so he just did this. So it looks really good. Very cheesy, gooey. And like I said, I just got to put this on. This is my gravy. We are doing the green beans, which look really good. And we're just going to add, like I said, some bacon to it for a little bit more flavor. And then, of course, this is leftover breakfast. But this here is the dressing that is still cold. But as soon as my chicken is done, then we'll go ahead and put it in the oven. And like I said, the pies, that's done. So we're moving right along. May not eat at 2. It'll probably be more like 2:30. But not bad still. I think I'm doing good. So as you can see, everything turned out wonderful, y'all. Chess pie turned out delicious. Half of it's already gone for the YouTube shorts, but babe got his plate. He throwing down. My brother over here got his little plate. He throwing down. So let me just show you over here. I done already took pictures. We got, of course, we've got to have us a little bit of cranberry sauce. Got the dressing.
You don't have to.
Got the dressing going. What's left of that chicken? Yep, was really, really good.
The way we got it,
of course,
now,
we got the mac and cheese,
discount or either
green beans, of course,
like me
and
Baby
of course
Mama
the
Johnson,
sauce.
Mama.
So,
I'm gonna end up doing my sister.
like I said, they say everything was buckling. We got it going on. We good to go. All right, so I'm gonna end this vlog on that note, on a happy note. All right, guys, don't know what happened to the sound, but thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Mwah.